Okay? All right, so I guess I wanted your notes to be complete here for you to see that, y'all, we've already been solving linear equations. Y'all been solving these since 7th grade. Been solving since 7th grade. Not these that are multi-steps, probably, but 2 steps. I think you start 2-step equations in the 7th grade. So y'all been doing this. Okay, this is what we just learned, how to solve quadratic equations. And we use the factoring method to do that. So we spent about 2 weeks on that, and you just had a test. And also for exponential equations, we're just going to put those in Desmos, and I'm going to show you how to find the answer, okay? So let's go ahead and solve this. I took the opportunity to give one with decimals. So if everybody will get a calculator, that's going to be helpful to you. Who remembers the first step in solving an equation?
Turn in the calculator.
No. Starts with a D. We're going to distribute. So negative 3 times negative 6x, positive 18x. You need to be writing this. Yeah, you're going to need a calculator when we get to it, Eli, but you got to write this. Negative 3 times negative 1, positive 3. Bring down my equal sign. I'm going to bring down my negative 6 because I'm not using it. It's not part of the distribution. I'm going to distribute the 2 to the 5.8x. So I multiply. So this is where, Eli, you would need your calculator. 2 times 5.8.
11.6.
So 11.6x. 2 times 2.9. So that'd be plus, did y'all say 5.8? Okay. Now after distribution, what is the next step? Combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. So on the left, can I combine these guys? No. How about on the right? Is there anything I can combine?
Yeah.
What? Negative 6 and positive 5.8. So y'all can go ahead and put that in your calculator. Negative 6 plus 5.8.
Negative 0.2.
Yep. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and write my 11.6x because I didn't mess with it. And you said negative 0.2, right? Yep, so those combine to give me a negative 0.2. I'm going to bring down my equal sign, bring down my 18x, and bring down my plus 3. All right, what's my next step? Yep. Yep, I need to get my x's on the same side of the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract 11.6x on both sides. Okay, so there. And now we're going to combine these. So if you guys would grab your calculators and do 18 minus 11.6. Trying to practice doing some decimal stuff. What'd you get? Did you say 6.4? All right, 6.4. And don't forget, y'all, that's got an X on it. That's got an X on it. Bring down your plus 3. Bring down your equal sign and bring down negative 0.2. And y'all, now we got a 2-step equation. So what do we do now? Subtract 3 on both sides. So I'm going to bring down the 6.4x. Bring down my equal sign, and now I can put this in the calculator. Negative 0.2 minus 3. Negative 3.2. And what's my last step? Divide both sides by 6.4. So See, y'all, we've been doing this. I just wanted you to have it in your notes. Notice you guys told me that this is linear because the power on the x is a 1. How many solutions did I get? 1. The power on the quadratic is 2. How many solutions have I been getting? Y'all, that's not a coincidence. Power of 2, you can get up to 2 solutions. Power of 1, you can get 1 solution. Y'all, that's not a coincidence. Guess what? A power of 3, how many solutions you can have?
3.
3. Yep. So I wanted you to know that. Okay. Did y'all get this written down? So y'all, now your notes are complete. I'm going to show you how to do this. This is not a Math 1 concept. So in Math 1, they expect you just to do this in Desmos. So what you're going to do, and you might want to write this note, you're going to put the left side in Desmos with the y equals. In other words, we're going to make it a function. So you would put that in Desmos. Then you put the right side in Desmos with the y equals. So you would put 2 lines in Desmos. And you find the intersection. Where's my little sheet of paper that everybody's signing? Did it make it around? Okay. Did Shining James? Well, James, you don't need to sign it because you weren't in here. I'm going to somehow have to I'm going to get a bunch of y'all to do that tutorial tomorrow. Where's that? Right here? Okay. All right. Okay, so basically in math, about all we can do is put the left side, put this in Desmos, put this in Desmos, and find the intersection, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate that, even though on the video, if you watch the video, you won't be able to see it. I am going to demonstrate. So if the intersection is 4, 80, which answer should you be giving? I'll give you a hint. It's got to do with that letter right there. You're supposed to be giving the x answer because that's what you're solving for is x. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, so y'all, let's just sketch it so you'll have it in your notes. So one of your curves look like that, and then the other one look like that, and you're finding the intersection. So your answer is the x part. So the answer to this is 4. So now your notes are complete for solving an exponential equation, solving a linear equation, and solving a quadratic. We have done all that. Okay. We good? Okay, so next, now we're going to flip the pages. We're going to create page 9. Okay? And do the same, linear, exponential, quadratic. And then make sure you label every page, page 9, because that's how you keep them from getting confused. And now that I know we need all the room possible, this page is going to be used for sequences, but notice I'm writing it way up top, y'all. Notice I'm writing it way up top, sequences. I'm writing it way up top. We will not have quadratic sequences. That's why I wrote no quadratic sequences in Math 1. So in Math 1, we will not have any quadratic sequences, but we will have an exponential and a linear. Make sure you write this way up high. Okay? And then for linear, let's write sequences way up high. Okay? And now,
Did you put sequences on the other page?
I did, and I just put it right up there real high. Okay, folks, I want you to find your these guys here. I want you to find those guys there. And for each one of those, don't yell it out, but I want to see if you can figure out what the pattern is. Without yelling it out. See if you can see what the pattern is. What's the pattern to this one? Javon.
She said undivided by 2.
Close. Close. That's real close. What's the pattern? Elena. Yeah, we're multiplying by 2 here. Okay. Do y'all know anything that we've heard of that a pattern is multiplying or dividing between these two guys here? We've talked about it over and over and over. No? Nobody knows? Yeah. Say again? It has to be negative, did you say? No. No. Nobody remembers that there's patterns for linear and patterns for exponential and patterns for quadratic. Does anybody remember what they are? They're written in your notes. Well, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's do the other one. Okay, so y'all told me this is multiplied by 2. What's this one?
Add 4.
Add 4. So this one's adding. So one is multiplying and one's adding. Okay, now, does anybody want to take a guess? Linear, exponential. One of those has a pattern of adding and one has a pattern of multiplying and dividing. Nobody knows? James?
Times 2.
Yes, it is times 2. My question to you is, which one of these represents exponential and which one of these represents linear?
One of them's adding and one of them's multiplying.
It is, and I'm trying to ask which,
Oh my.
right. I'm trying to say which one is which.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to say. Which?
Exponential's multiplying.
Thank you. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, y'all don't glue yet. Y'all, exponential, the pattern is multiplying and dividing. And for everybody that hasn't said anything, y'all, that's not new information. Like, I've been talking about that since probably the second page of this notebook. I'm saying, that's the reason why this notebook is split into 3 sections, is so you guys can decipher the difference between the 3. So, don't glue it yet because I don't want it to go up top. I don't want it to go up top. I mean, if you've already glued, then, I mean, I guess it's going to go up top. But, okay, so which one has the adding and subtracting pattern? Linear. Okay, now I want you to find your big squares. These are your 2 types of sequences, arithmetic and geometric. If you read these, you can too figure out which one is an exponential model and which one is a geometric if you read them. And I'll wait. Arithmetic and geometric sequences.
Where the E is.
Huh? Geometric, where does it go? How you know? Because the pattern's multiplication. Good job. So y'all, this is the way I would do it. You got your formulas and stuff, so y'all, I would put, wait a minute, that's the wrong one, that's for sure. So y'all, I would put this up top, like that. Okay, then if you notice, and you're going to have to squeeze these, y'all, then if you notice, the key for what the letters mean goes under that. And then you guys said the one that's multiplying goes here. So there is your exponential page. Then your linear page is even going to be more squished. So your exponential page is even going to be more squished. Try to squish it on up there. And that's what the two pages look like right there. And we're going to write an equation for these two sequences. So we got just a little bit of time left, and then it'll be over.
What is the differences in these, or is there not?
There is no difference. I just wanted you to have one per page. There is no difference in the key. The key's just telling you what the variables mean, and we're going to talk about that. So y'all can glue. And if you've got room to leave a little space here, this is where I'm going to write an equation for the sequence, right here at the bottom. Okay? So if you can leave some room at the bottom, just a little bit, to write a line of something. Y'all so smart. Y'all so smart. All right, have we caught up?
I'm not caught up.
Are we writing anything on these papers?
Yeah, at the bottom. I just haven't written yet. I'm waiting on everybody. All right, I'm going to go ahead. So if I can get y'all's attention, please, and then we'll be done. Y'all, this is what we're going to do all this week. And part of next, we're going to do sequences, and we're going to write equation for these sequences. Y'all, a sequence is just a list of numbers with a particular pattern. That's what a sequence is. You guys already told me. Y'all figured this pattern out. This pattern is to add 4. 4 is being added every single time. Okay. Y'all, this is a formula that we plug into. And, Javon, can I get you to watch this way? What does A sub 1 mean for my answer key? This, the first term. What is the first term of my sequence? So -3 would go right there. Okay, next, and I'm going to write it here in a minute, the D. And by the way, y'all, sometimes they put this D behind. I like it out in front. It's just the number that gets distributed. I like it right here. D stands for what? Common difference. You guys don't remember, but you actually, the common difference is the pattern. What was the pattern? Yeah, the common difference is 4. So let's write this equation. So this is what the equation would look like for this. A sub n equals, the first term is -3 plus, and I like to put my D in front, 4 parentheses n minus 1. So y'all, we're going to practice writing equations for these sequences. Okay, yeah. Right here, n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1. Okay, for this one, notice your formula. What's a sub 1 stand for again?
First term.
First term. Oh, and by the way, y'all might want to do your pattern here. Just so you have it, you might want to do your pattern and write plus 4. Okay, and here y'all told me the pattern was multiplying by 2. Okay, so first term, so let's write this equation. A sub n equals, first term is negative 3 times your common ratio is your pattern. Your common ratio is your pattern. What's my pattern? Raised to the n minus 1. And y'all, I put n minus 1 in parentheses. It's going to be important. Yeah.
Okay, so for the end, will there eventually be a number?
What we're learning, that's a great question. What we're learning is we're going to write an equation and we're going to learn that we can plug numbers in for this to find answers. Yes, that's exactly right. And that's the reason why I'm putting that n minus 1 in parentheses, because when you go to plug it in the calculator, Maddie, you're going to want that n minus 1 in parentheses, or to give you the wrong answer. N. Yeah, you're going to write n minus 1. Right here. You're going to write it right there.
I wrote that, but then you said you're going to put n minus 1. I would put it in the calculator?
No, I'm saying that when it starts giving you values for n to plug in, we'll go in the calculator and do that. Yep. Yes. It's 1:30, so you're not supposed to be in the hall. Okay, so y'all, good job. This is what we're doing all week. Okay, y'all got 10 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and take those pictures up there.
Yeah. Don't forget, folks, the extra credits up here. And y'all, if it runs out, I'll just make more copies. It's no big deal. Folks, do you still have scraps?
Yeah.
Hey, Miss B.
It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, I gotta do it. I do like a 70.
Bueno, what is he going to
Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness. Y'all clean that out. Hey y'all, test remediation's here. I'm going to make more copies for this.
Oh, I wonder why.